Welcome viewers. It's another moment that we want to welcome you to our series of teachings on parenting. We appreciate that you've been following us in the previous teachings. We don't want to take it for granted. We thank you for taking your opportunity even to follow us. And before we continue, I'd like us to start with a word of prayer. Father, I want to thank you, want to praise you, want to glorify you, and to want to magnify you for your goodness and your care. Thank you, dear Father, for taking us this far with our families, oh dear King of Glory. We know, oh dear Mighty Father, it has been a tough time having our children home, and even dear King of Glory, issues with our businesses, with our working environment. But I want to thank you that this far we have seen thy faithfulness and thy goodness. We thank you, King of Glory, for even our families and the parents that are listening to us as we bring these teachings to them. Father, we pray that may you be with them, may you bless them, may you, even dear King of Glory, protect them with their families for the honor and glory of thy name. In Jesus' name we pray and believe. Thank you. Thank you, viewers. Once more, thank you. We want to continue with our teachings on parenting, and today I want us to look at a topic I'm calling how to build a strong self-esteem for your child. Will it be a boy child or a girl child? Basically, self-esteem is how your child sees himself or thinks of himself and his abilities to do things. How does he perceive if he wants to do something? How does he imagine himself as being? Does he always see himself as capable? Does he see himself as somebody who is able to do it? Or does he or she at times feel like he's lacking in some way or another? In amongst others, does he see himself as a competent person? Or does he feel like he's lesser? Does he feel inferior in some way or another? So this is basically how they see themselves, how our children see themselves. And what we are focusing on is that it is important that our children have a healthy sense of self-esteem. And this will depend on us parents, even as we build their foundations, that we develop them in a manner that they can believe in themselves, that they can trust in themselves in whatever they do, that they always see themselves as being able to do it, that whenever even they don't accomplish what they have the purpose to do, they'll attribute it to the outside forces or the external forces that could have made them not to perform. But they'll not look at themselves as lesser people or look at themselves as not having the ability to accomplish what they purpose to do. It is sort of in a way, it's sort of as having a self-confidence in whatever they do. So basically what I want us to look at today is how do we build our children's self-confidence even in whatever they want to do? How do we build this self-esteem that they can believe in themselves even as they move forward in their day-to-day life, in their school activities, that they can believe in themselves, that they can perform even in their class, that they can always believe in themselves. So I want us to bring to us a number of ways that as parents we can be able to help our children have a good self-esteem, that they may believe in themselves. One of the most important things as a parent is that you have to show your child love every day and always, and this makes them believe in themselves. Knowing how much you love him or her gives them the ability or the sense of security and belonging that is very important in their lives. If they know that they are secure, if they know they belong to a family, if they know mom trusts me, loves me, then they'll always believe in themselves. So as they grow up, they'll continue to build their social circles by making good friends around them, by having a sense of belonging, and at a church or a synagogue or another place of worship, knowing that they belong to a certain church, knowing that they belong to a certain group, this makes them be in a position to bond well with the mates and other people around them. Even in the sports maybe areas, they'll be able to be team players because they have this sense of belonging. They know people can believe in them. So it's very important that you love your children, show them love, that they may know they have a sense of security, they know they have a sense of belonging to a certain group or a family that values them. And this will help our children to believe in themselves. Your love will lay a groundwork for a healthy and strong relationship. They will form later in their life. That is to say, if your child believes in you, if they know they are secure, even if they go away from where you are, they'll always feel very secure, because nothing threatens them in their life. Nothing scares them in their life, and they'll always believe in themselves. They always believe in whatever they do. And also, having this sense of security and bonding with other people around them will give them an opportunity to link with other people, to be team players with other people that are around them. Could it be in a working environment? Could it be in a school environment? Your children feel very secure, and they will link up very well with other people. So the first and foremost thing is that for you as a parent, that you show your child you love them. Let them know that they are being loved. Let them know that they have a family they can count on. Let them know that they have people, parents, who can never doubt them. And this also gives them an opportunity to go away and out of their way and do things, face issues in life, because they know their parents love them and they are there for them. They'll not fear to face anything in their lives. Another thing that I would like to bring to us as parents is that let's create time to play with our children. Let's create time to have fun with our children. And when we play with our children, it shows them that you like spending time with them and that you value their company. Just having fun with your children has numerous benefits. Not only does your child develop confidence in his ability to be an interesting and entertaining person who can form solid social bonds, but studies have shown that a child's odds of being happy increases his risk of depression and anxiety. That's to say, as they are happy, as they play around, it decreases depression in their lives, and this makes them that to believe in themselves. They'll always be free of anxiety in whatever they do. It's like whatever comes in their lives, it will never make them anxious, but they'll always be in a position to see, how do I handle the situation that is around me? How do I face whatever is around me? So you creating a time for them makes them have confidence in whatever they do. They'll have confidence in their abilities. They'll have a way of integrating with other people around them, and this will help them in their life. So as a parent, always purpose to create time to be there for your children. Listen to them, and also by playing with them, you may be able to understand their abilities, and you may also maybe help them in the areas they may feel like they are lacking. So as a parent, when you create time with your children, you are taking away the risk of depression in their lives, taking away the risk of depression, and it's like all these chances of them getting into these situations are decreased. So create quite a number of time that you can spend with your children. I know it might be tricky for us parents, especially during these times when every one of us is out going to look. Everyone is a breadwinner. Maybe as a father, maybe you are always out of the country, even, leave alone just in the outside the house. And as a mother, you are always out also, looking for how to take care of our children because of the needs that have increased in our day-to-day life. But once in a while, purpose to create time. Once in a while, set aside time to be with your children. Set aside time just to spend with your children and play with them, have fun with them, and it will help them to really have self-confidence in themselves. Another area that I would like us to focus on as a parent, that this will help our children have a good self-esteem and self-confidence, is that in our day-to-day life, I know some of us have maybe house helps. Maybe we have houseboys who can help us in our compounds, maybe to take care of our gardens, our flower gardens. We may have house helps who may help us take care of the house chores. But just create your time, create time and give your children responsibility in helping us with even the house chores. Let them maybe assist your house help in one way or another. This will also help them to learn and to take responsibility. Ask them to do one thing or another in the house, even as you leave to go out to work. Maybe now that we have them in our houses, just ask them to make sure that they have to tidy the compound. Ask them to make sure that they'll have to make sure that their rooms are clean. As much as we are having a house help, purpose to give them a responsibility to take care of their rooms. Purpose to give them a responsibility to just make their beds, to make sure that that is their responsibility every time they wake up. And it also, talking about responsibilities, I know we have children of different ages in our houses. And so just create chores that are appropriate for the age of your child. Probably if it's about your child is young enough, just ask her to make sure that maybe she cleans her shoes. Ask her to make sure that maybe she just arranges the shoe rack, that it may look nice. If it's a young man who is a teen, ask him to tidy the compound. If it's a young girl who is still a teen, ask him to help maybe with the cleaning of the utensils or just cleaning the window panes. And this will help them to take responsibility, to know that they belong to this family. And I know as they do it, be a mother or a father who will come and just appreciate them and show them love and praise them for one thing that they have done well. Reassure them that time over time, and you will realize that they'll get better, they learn to take responsibilities, and by so doing, they learn to do things on their own. They'll believe in themselves. Time will come when they learn to see what is supposed to be done around the house, and they do it without even you asking them to do it. So purpose to give them responsibilities and chores according to their ages, the appropriate ages. So just understand what is right for a teenage, what is right for a 7-year-old girl or boy, and assign them assign them responsibilities according to their ages, such that you are not going to overburden a young baby with doing a hard task. And by you assigning them a hard task, you make them to give up. You make them to doubt themselves if they don't accomplish it. And that will not help them to build their self-esteem. Instead, it will bring them down. If you give a teenage very light tasks to do, they'll easily do it, and they will not pick credit from what they have done. But if you assign them assignments that are appropriate to their age, at the end of the day, as they accomplish them, they'll believe in themselves and they'll know, okay, I can do it. And they'll feel good about achieving whatever you have given them. That will build their self-esteem. They learn to believe in themselves. They learn to know that, okay, I can do it. And by so doing, we are just training them in the future to be independent. So in other words, the next point I'm looking at is learning to have our children be independent, learning to make them depend on themselves, work by themselves. You realize that the elementary years of our children, or the children in the elementary years of schooling, are learning to be independent in their lives. And by the time they reach the middle school years, many are starting to spend time alone at home, walking to school by themselves, and helping young siblings. That you will tell them to take care of their young siblings even as they go to school, that they learn to negotiate their way to school on their own without you worrying even as a parent. And it is important that parents allow kids to grow, that we may allow our children to grow increasingly more independent, letting them to figure out even how to talk to their teachers. Maybe they have forgotten their homework, they have lost their pencil. allow them to learn to talk to their teachers to make sure that they can explain themselves out. Probably they have fallen sick and have not gone to school one day or another. Or, allow them to go and explain to their teachers what happened, that they didn't go to school that particular day. And if it's important, that maybe you give them documents that will show that maybe they were attending treatment, give them the documents and allow them to go and talk to their teachers. By so doing, you are empowering them to depend on themselves. Probably they have not done their homework. I mean, don't take the responsibility to go and explain, but empower them to go and explain to their teacher what happened that they didn't do their homework, what happened that they didn't finish their homework. And by so doing, you are empowering them to be independent and do their things on their own. Also, when they come home, learn to train them to know and take responsibility, to know that this is time I have to do my homework. This is the time I have to do maybe the house chores that mom gave me. Let them learn to plan their own way on how to achieve the items or the activities of the day on their own. And by so doing, you will help them very much. I remember having shared in one of, while I was talking about parenting, about helicopter parenting. Helicopter parenting is believed to be one of the parenting styles that undermines kids' ability to do things on their own and to build good self-esteem. I remember sharing that helicopter parenting is whereby you as a parent, you are so much involved, or it's like you are hovering over the activities of what your child is doing. You are always there to see what are they doing wrong, what are they doing right, and probably maybe when you see they are doing wrong, you'll always be ready to jump in and maybe save the situation, but allow your children to navigate their own way in their situation, in their activities. Allow them to learn from their mistakes and correct and do the right thing, instead of you being over them all the time. I remember one of my clients in my counseling career complaining to me that her parents or his parents always want to drop him in school, to take him right from home to school. But this is one client who wanted to go to school on his own. He wanted to carry his own box, board a matatu, and go to school on his own. But the parents didn't like that. They wanted always to take him to school. When it's closing, they go pick him from school and bring him home. He didn't like this. And I know this is one way that you make your children feel like they are not capable of doing their own things. They are not capable of negotiating their own life. And this at times makes them not build a very good self-esteem. They always doubt themselves. You will always make them feel like they are not capable of handling their own situation. So at times, you may have a car with you, but at times just allow your child to negotiate his way to school. Let him learn how to do his own stuff. And nowadays, most of the schools, they don't carry even their boxes home. When they go back to school, they only have a handbag. So it will be very easy for them to get to school, as long as you can help them identify the matatus that can take them to school and which stages they are supposed to drop. Allow them to find their way around their issues, and that will really help them even to build the best self-esteem for today, which is good for them today and even the future. So learn even to allow your child to walk to school without an adult, without anybody else. As long as you have shown him the way, learn to allow him to go to school by himself. Learn to allow him to come home by himself. I know there are some parents who have told their children that when you come from school, maybe you will pick a key from our neighbor, open the house, take tea, and go and start doing your homework. By so doing, you empower your children to be self-reliant, to be independent, and do things on their own. And that will be the best way to build our children's self-esteem. I would like also to ask that we teach our children that they may learn whenever they have setbacks, whenever they have failures in their life. Let them not think that that is the end of the road. Let them not think that they have failed, but let them to learn to pick, take it as a chance to learn from their failures. Let them take it as a chance to learn from their setbacks. Emphasize the fact that being human means making mistakes and not being perfect. That as a human being, you are at one point or another bound to make a mistake. And it's like we are not perfect. Being human being, we are not perfect. That at one point we will make a mistake. And by making a mistake, let's learn from our mistakes. That we may look at our mistakes and ask ourselves, then how differently would I have done it not to get to where I am? And by so doing, they learn a different way. By so doing, they learn to do it in a different way that will help them at the end of the way. Teach your child to see that setbacks are what teaches us, so that we can continue to try to improve. That from our setbacks, we can learn and do something differently. Our setbacks can help us to improve in our day-to-day life. That if I did this way and I fail, then I have to to try another way that will help me achieve my goal. And by so doing, you'll always empower your children that whenever they fail, they'll take it like this is a learning experience, and it's not that I cannot make it in life. It doesn't mean that if I failed maybe in my exams, that is the end of the road, but I can learn from what did I do wrong that made me fail? What can I do differently that will make me succeed now in whatever is ahead of me? So whenever you give them tasks, they don't meet the target, let them learn that this is not the end of the road, but I can do it differently and achieve my targets. And as a parent, many times as we see our children fail in achieving one thing or another, we are bound to be angry. We are bound to feel bad. We are bound to feel let down. And at times it leads us to maybe react negatively by maybe insulting our children or belittling our children. And this is another thing that will make them feel more low and not build a stable and strong self-esteem. Because by you belittling them, by you insulting them, you put them down. So when your child does something wrong that drives you crazy as a parent or misbehaves, be sure to separate the behavior from your child. Understand that, okay, my child has done this. This is a behavior. It is not my child. So learn to separate the behavior from your child. And understand that, okay, I know as a parent you are bound to feel bad. You are bound to feel annoyed. But just understand that, okay, it has happened. My child has done this wrong. They may be pushing buttons that may make you feel irritated and angry and want to react. But talk to your child with respect. Talk to your child with understanding. And as I've said, by you separating the mistake or the misbehavior from your child will make you understand that, okay, this is what she has done. But that doesn't mean that this is who she is. But I can correct her. I can correct him and make him do it differently next time. Probably they were playing and he pushed the other because of maybe the other one annoyed him or insulted him. And he reacted back with anger also. So learn to separate that anger, that you may teach him next time how to react, how to handle the situation, how to respond to the situation, and not maybe hit back the way he did. And by so doing, you help them to believe in themselves and to learn new ways of handling the situation and not maybe to do it the wrong way. And by you also as a parent, by you not hitting back, but by you talking to them with respect, will make them also learn, because you are role modeling, you are modeling. So you'll make them also learn to react in a better way when a situation goes wrong. They'll know that when I do wrong, my daddy, my mommy doesn't hit me, My mommy doesn't react badly, but he talks to me with respect. And they learn from you. Next time they'll do it the same way. So don't yell. Don't yell. Take emotions out when you discipline your child. I know when your child has done something wrong, don't react angrily, but take emotions out of it, or out of you when you discipline your child, that you may talk to them respectfully, that you may talk to them in a low voice, and this will help our children to understand us. Be friends with them and speak to them when you are happy, when you are friendly. They'll understand very well. I remember also sharing that when you yell, when you shout out at our children, they'll always pick the venom of what is coming out of you and not even listen to you. They'll not listen to what you are saying, but they always pick the venom that is coming out of you. They'll always pick the anger that is coming out of you, but they'll not pick what you're trying to drive home. So approach the issue with a lot of soberness, with a lot of calmness, and they will understand you. Yes, parents. Another thing that I remember parents is happening to us so much is that nowadays we are so much on our phones, thanks to technology, and we have so much to do with our phones. We want to be on social media. We are checking our mails and all that, and research shows that most children are noticing this, that our children understand that we are spending much more time with our phones and ignoring them. And obviously, even you as a person, as a parent, whenever you are amongst people, you'll never want to be ignored. You'll want people to give you attention. You'll want people to listen, to talk to you. I also remember sharing that at times we don't listen to our children. There are times our child can be calling you severally, but you are so into your phone or into your thoughts that you don't hear even them calling. And when they feel ignored, they don't feel, they feel they are not loved. So one thing that would also help us to be there for our children and focus on them, that we have to get off our phones. Let's create time for our children, that whenever we are with our children, let's also pay attention to them. By so doing, one, we are role modeling. Two, we are making them understand that we are always there for them. And by role modeling, they will learn that when you are with other people, you don't have to be on your phone. So when they will grow up, they'll always learn to be attentive to other people when they are around other people and not be on their phones. So let's get off our phones as parents and be there for our children. And that will very much help them, even as they be with us and grow grow their self-esteem. And what I want you to understand, parent, is that talking of self-esteem, it is not being arrogant. It's not being full of yourself. It's not being a narcissist. I mean, self-love, that you love yourself much more than you don't care about other people. It's not about entitlement, but self-confidence. I mean, being self-confident means that just being there, having a balanced, healthy connection with other people around you. I mean, balance out healthy self-esteem with other important skills like having empathy for other people, being able to be in another person's world. I mean, being kind to other people, just having good manners, being charitable, and having a sense of gratitude, having a sense of appreciation. That our children will not be full of self-ego, that they'll not be just full of self-love, but they'll be able, even as we train them, they'll be able to link up with other people. They'll be able to step into other people's life and see where they're coming from, and be able to support them in their day-to-day life. I mean, being kind to other people, that they'll go out of their way to help other people. They'll go out of their way to be there for other people, and that they will learn to have good manners in their day-to-day life. That they'll appreciate other people around them, and they'll always love and live with other people in the best way possible. That as they believe in themselves, they'll be able also to link up with other people. As they believe in themselves, they'll be able to love other people. As they believe in themselves, they'll be able even to appreciate other people that are around them. And the last thing that I would like us to bring home to you is that allow your children to do their own stuff. Allow your children, especially those ones who are young, who are growing up, they may want to do their things and show you. They may want to maybe model something and come to show you. Appreciate them. Learn to allow them to do this more often than not. Learn to allow them do their drawings and maybe just let them paste them across the wall. Just because what they want is they want to be appreciated. They want to be told that, okay, you can do it. So allow them to create and show off their work. If they like drawing, allow them to draw and show off. And just help them to work on several things that they want. It may be fun craft, for them. And let them display around the house. Don't feel offended. I know most of us parents, when we see our children do that, we will want, because we want our house to be clean, we want our house to remain the way it is. When they do their things and maybe they put on the walls, you will get offended. And you will want to tell them not to do that. By so doing, you are killing their self-esteem. But allow them to show off what they are doing. If it's a singer, allow them just to show off their talent. It might not be as good as you may want it to be, but allow them to do it. By so doing, they affirm them, and they'll find a place to do it better and more. So allow them to show off. If it's their dancers, allow them to dance and let them show off what they can do better. By so doing, you build their self-esteem. They learn to believe in themselves. And what our children want is to see his work or to see how people see their work, and what do they feel about it. Do they appreciate it? And by so doing, if you allow them display, if you allow them do what they want and just affirm them in what they are doing, they'll build a stable self-esteem. And giving your child a chance to show off and the things that they make, or to talk about the things he made, lets him feel like his creations are worthy of attention, and that his opinion or thoughts matter. Probably they are talking about an issue. And if you allow them talk, you allow them air their views, they'll learn to understand that, okay, so I can also be listened to. And at times maybe they're just sharing what happened in school, what they did in school, what as the teacher was teaching, what did they put across. Just allow them to say it, allow them to be proud of themselves. They may have even done homework in school, they have scored certain marks, they want to display it to you, they want to show you. Allow them to show it. And that builds their self-esteem, and they'll feel affirmed in whatever they do. So parents, as I conclude with that point, I just want you to be open with your children. Allow them to be free. Allow them to be independent. Give them responsibilities in the family. Give them responsibilities in the house, that they may learn to do their own things. At times, they may have come with something they want, like they're improvising something that has not been, they have never seen anybody do it, but they want to do it. They want to work on it. Allow them to do it. I know, as a parent, maybe you have realized that at one point you come home with a toy, a new toy, and in the next day you find your child has dismantled it, and he wants to try and put it together. He wants to try and put the pieces together. Don't get annoyed, but just encourage him to continue with what he's doing. By so doing, They want to do things and believe that they can believe that, okay, I can accomplish it. And as I said earlier, they may fail to put it together the way it was, but by so doing, and by you just affirming them, they learn to know that, okay, I might have failed today, but tomorrow I might do it, I might make it. And by so doing, they learn to do things, they learn to create their own things, they learn to be independent in whatever they are doing. So as I conclude, parent, I know I've mentioned all those points, you have taken them. As you have listened to me, try them and see how your child turns out to be. I can assure you, if you put them into practice, you realize that your child believes in you, your child will start to believe in themselves, and as you show them love, they learn to believe in themselves, they learn to love other people, and they learn to work together with other people, and that will help them to grow up into responsible people of tomorrow, parents, and even citizens of this nation. And that will give us a better nation, that will give us a better church, that will give us better families, even as we continue with the next generation. So thank you, viewers, for giving me that time, for listening to me, and I know we are going to continue being together even as we pick on other sessions that are ahead of us. God bless you. So let's bow down and close with a word of prayer. Thank you, Father, for that session that you have given to us with my viewers. I just want to appreciate each and every one of them that will listen to me, that dear King of Glory, they'll pick out one thing or another that will help them even as they bring up responsible families, as they bring up responsible children, as they bring up responsible citizens of tomorrow, that dear King of Glory, that will be independent and will have a stable self-esteem, and that they'll believe in themselves even as they work with other people. I want to thank you and to praise you. In Jesus' name I pray and believe. Thank you, viewers.